Welcome back to another Prelude video, where in today's video I've actually got a little bit of bad news for y'all. I hope this never happens to any of y'all, and I wish this on nobody, but the head gasket in the Prelude had decided to leave the chat. Essentially, I'll explain the story in a bit, but I've been trying to avoid this news for a good 3 to 4 weeks now, and now I have to tell y'all, obviously. Basically, the head gasket failed, causing the Prelude to overheat slightly. The Prelude has a Hondata ECU in it, so the Hondata actually catches it when it gets over just slightly, not even barely overheating, but once it starts, temperatures start to go above what is normal, it'll send you a code, hey, I'm overheating, pull the vehicle over, stop. The vehicle started getting up to 215 degrees Fahrenheit. And then from there it would start going up. It pretty much after drive it would keep going higher. It ended up, I stopped driving at 219. We replaced the cooling fans, flushed the cooling system, bled the cooling system, did everything possible with the cooling system, and gas bubbles or bubbles kept going back into the cooling system, which meant exhaust was getting into the system. Now what does that mean? It doesn't mean that the Prelude's going. The Prelude's staying. It just means we're going to have a little bit less content with the Prelude. We're probably going to have more content with Cometic, which is not bad. Cometic, you know, he deserves some love and a second life. He was abused by his previous owner, and we're here to give him that other chance that he deserves. But for the Prelude, what does that mean? Well, that means it's not going to be on the channel for a little bit, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back stronger and hit harder than it ever did. The Prelude's going to get a stage 2 top end, as well as supporting mods for the Prelude and a tune. So I'm not too concerned about its head gasket going out. And, you know, hopefully it was just a head gasket, not a cracked head or a cracked short block. But hopefully everything will be recoverable and we'll be able to save it. Just keep in mind, it's going to be a stage 2 top end, exhaust, and other supporting mods with the Prelude. So it's going to come back swinging harder than it ever did. But that's the bad news. You can even see that the tires, you know, they're a little low on air. It's because I haven't started or driven it. I don't want to risk anything. Now, the parts have all arrived except for one part, which is this Skunk 2 intake air manifold. We're going to be upgrading that in the stage 2 as well. That is actually on back order, unfortunately. So we're still waiting for Skunk 2 to get it in stock and then send it to us. However, though, we have received everything else: the cams, the intake valves, exhaust valves, everything that you'd think to put into a stage 2 top end is on its way here. Well, it's already here. We're just waiting on the intake manifold, including fuel pump, clutch, and flywheel, and the exhaust, whatever else I've missed, fuel injectors, stuff like that. Anything to support it or, you know, be part of the stage 2. What I think is gonna happen now is I'm gonna do a little drive with y'all. I'm trying to get motovlogging into the channel, so I think I'm gonna do a motovlog with y'all, and then we're gonna go through the video. Well, I'm gonna try to describe it as best as possible as to what happened with the Prelude, and give you the step-by-step process and the story. If you guys haven't met this truck yet, this is Cometic. Cometic has his own little quirks and features that have happened to him over time by his previous owner. Like the fact that he has low oil pressure. Right there you can see low oil pressure. But that's not our issue right now. Cometic will be fine. I've driven him 5,000 miles like this. Let me get you guys situated. Let me put y'all in a little spot in the truck somewhere so you guys can see the road and hear me. Okay, so I think this is like the perfect spot for y'all. You might get a little shake. You guys are actually hanging on the mirror, so hopefully the mirror doesn't fall off. Let me get out of my neighborhood. I'll be back in a second. I'll just cut the video. You guys won't even notice it. But yeah. Okay, so sorry for the shaky footage. I think I'm gonna have to edit it and stabilize the video. But let me start with the reason how I found out the Prelude was overheating. So we were
me, Eligio, and his cousin, we were on our way to a car show in Fort Worth, near their airport. I don't know what it's called. It's just an airport in Fort Worth. We get on a street called Division, or 180. Then we jump onto 820, and we're on our way there. Everything's fine so far. It's fine for a good 15 minutes. We're almost there. We're only 2 minutes away from where the car show's supposed to be at. And I get a check engine light on the Prelude. Now, the Prelude has a Honda, so there's no OBD2 features. It's OBD1 now. In fact, to get a check engine code, you have to go through the OBD1 process, either hook up a computer to it or check on your phone if you have the Bluetooth version of Honda, which I have. So essentially what I did was I opened the Honda app and went to trouble codes on their screen and found that I had a engine over temp code. Which, I mean, I didn't think much of it because the temperature gauge on the Prelude was still at normal. So what I did was I stopped the Prelude, shut it off, let it cool down, started it up, the check engine light went away, so I assumed no problems had gone. So we finished the rest of the 2 miles to the car show, stopped there, enjoyed our time, had fun. Then I left, or we left. When we left, the Prelude didn't give me any trouble anymore, so I didn't think much of it. It only gave me trouble when I got back onto 20. I'm sorry, I believe it's called I-30. And it's another highway here in Texas, within the DFW area. I got onto it, and not even 10 minutes after being on that highway, I got another check engine code. Meanwhile, the speed limit on I-30 is like 60, 65. At 60, 65 in 5th gear in the Prelude, it's already at like 3,000 RPM, 2,500, somewhere around there, maybe 3,500, I don't remember exactly. But it's high up there in the RPMs. So, airflow and the water pump is moving it at a high speed. The only thing that could cause it to overheat at that engine speed would be a head gasket failure, because at that engine revolution, the engine's creating a lot of exhaust gases, and if the head gasket failed, it's pushing it into the exhaust like crazy. So, I limp it back home. I make an appointment with Redline to take it to them and have them look at it and see what's going on. When I made the appointment at Redline, we noticed that the cooling fans were wobbling. So it basically meant that they're not able to do their job as they once did when they were new. So I had some Mishimoto cooling fans, remember the ones I unboxed with y'all. Those were already installed, and we still came back to the same issue where the Prelude would be overheating once it's on the highway or simulating highway RPMs. Bleed the system, flush the system, clean the system, check the entire system. The Prelude's got a new water pump, everything in the cooling system is essentially new at this point, right? It's still causing overheat. We've even bled the system 3 times and bubbles still keep coming up. At this rate, we know because bubbles keep coming up, there's exhaust getting into the coolant. Now, coolant level isn't decreasing, which means it's not that severe yet. No coolant has gone into the engine chamber, which is really good, I guess, when you're looking at a worst case scenario standpoint. But in my case, it's still a head gasket job. We just, we're waiting on other stuff for it, parts right now. But we found out that it's a head gasket, exhaust keeps coming in, and then I go take the Prelude and park it. And this time of parking it, a lot of thoughts go through my mind. What should I do with the Prelude? What does this mean? What's gonna happen? And I'm also like very, very grateful that I bought Tomater for the price I got him. I got him for $600, the truck we're driving right now. And I'm glad because that's my, at this point in time, my only means of transportation. Tomater, the way he looks, the way he's been beat up, he deserves a second life because of he hasn't given me any problems in this period. He should have given me a lot of problems, but in this period of time, he hasn't given me anything. So, now that we know that the Prelude's head gasket has failed, what does that mean? We pretty much were offered either to replace the head gasket and call it a day, put the motor back together, or build the top end of the motor since it's going to have to come off. So I already decided to build the top end, which means it's gonna get a Cometic head gasket, ARP head studs, skunk tuner, stage 2 cams, I believe intake valves, valve seals. I have to look through the invoice. Water pump, not water pump, I believe. I'm sorry, not a water pump. We already got one of those. But we've got a lot of parts coming in for the Prelude, as well as a tune, intake manifold, fuel injectors, fuel pump, lightweight flywheel, clutch, stuff like that. So the Prelude's gonna get taken care of, and it's gonna, swing harder than it did before. But what does that mean? That means now we get to have more Tomater content. I think with Tomater, what we're gonna do is something that not a lot of people do with these 2500 series trucks. I want to drop Tomater, do a 4.5 drop on it. Oh, I really want a 4.6, but you have to notch the frame for that. But we're gonna be doing full bolt-ons, tune, other stuff like that, which it's gonna take time. It's not all gonna happen in one video. So for the Chevy people who watch me right now, the people who are into Chevys who are watching, I guess I have some content coming for y'all soon, and hopefully you guys are excited for it as I am. But that's the news with the Prelude. Will I be getting rid of the Prelude? Never. And Tomater? Never. They both deserve, to be treated well. Unfortunately, the Prelude wasn't treated well by its previous owners either. It was abused, it wasn't taken care of, and that's why I'm having to, now face, the problems of not taking care of a car. With Tomater, I don't think it was taken care of at all. Like, when I got him, he was leaking oil from everywhere, leaking coolant from everywhere. Tomater was just abused, unfortunately. But, to every downside, I guess there's a positive side, which means, good things are coming. Other than that, I don't have any other things to say, besides thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot of videos coming up soon, a lot of good content. I know we couldn't get any baseline numbers at the drag strip for the Prelude, and I don't want to try to get any right now with the conditions. It is drivable, but I don't want to drive it as I don't want to hurt it. Hurting the Prelude would, cause more expensive issues for me to solve later, that I don't want to deal with. Why would I cause them if and spend more money to solve an issue I caused when I could have put money into improving the Prelude? So, I guess with that video, it concludes it. If you guys like these types of videos where we're driving around and I'm giving stories, just let me know. I'll keep doing them. I guess that's one really good way of making content. As money doesn't grow on trees, and finding the ability to financially support a video is a little hard, as it's a lot of money involved in the video. It's not every video involves a lot of money, but there's still money involved with videos. Now, if you guys give me more suggestions of what you guys want to see, and I'll make it happen, essentially. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like the button, hit the like button if you like the video, hit the dislike button if you dislike the video. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions on how I can improve my videos, or what I can add to the videos, or what videos I can make. I know you guys are mainly here for the Prelude, but don't worry, the Prelude's gonna come back. Stuff happens. This is just life. I mean, eventually it'll come back swinging harder than it ever did. So that's something for y'all to look up to, and same as well for me. But yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see, and that'll be a thing I can make happen.